everyone, I hope you're all well. Today I'm so excited to be sharing my newest sewing pattern, the Willow dress. I've been asked so much to make a wrap dress pattern ever since I shared my making a dress for a wedding last minute video, and I'm so excited to be finally sharing this pattern with you today. Also, because this dress is a wrap dress, that means there are no zips whatsoever, which makes this pattern the perfect project for complete beginners. So the Willow pattern is now available on my website, roseryapparel.com, and you can purchase it in either physical form for $45 or digital form for $25. So the good news is you can download it, print it, and start sewing with me today. This video is going to be an in-depth tutorial on how to make the Willow dress step by step. So follow the link in the description, purchase the pattern, and let's make this dress together. Once you've purchased the pattern, you're going to need to figure out which size is best for you and cut the pattern out at that size. Alternatively, you can use some tracing paper to trace out the pattern in your size so you can keep the pattern whole for use later. The fabrics that I'm going to be making my Willow dresses out of are this beautiful mustard linen fabric by A&R Fabrics and this amazing vintage bedsheet that I found at a thrift store. Let's start with the short sleeve long skirt version. To save paper, I've made the skirt back and skirt front template the same piece. So simply fold along the dotted line to make the skirt back template and then unfold it when you're ready to cut out your skirt front. Similar with the sleeve template, fold along the dotted line and fold and tuck the excess paper to the back of the template to create the short sleeve template. Then pin your template pieces onto your fabric and cut them out. The first step is to create darts onto your fabric pieces. Using an erasable pen or some tailor's chalk and the skirt and bodice front and back templates, mark the 3 points of each dart onto the back of the fabric pieces. Make each dart by matching the 2 adjacent markings together and fold until the top point of the dart and pin in place. Stitch the darts starting from the top point and without backstitching to the bottom of the dart, creating a kind of triangle shape. Once the darts are sewn, tie off the loose threads at the top point of the darts with a double knot. Then press the darts flat, making sure to press them towards where the centre of the garment will be. Next, take your pocket pieces and overlock the curved edge to prevent them from fraying. I like to overlock pretty much after every seam, and that's what I'll be doing in this video, but if you don't own an overlocker, you can use a zigzag stitch on your sewing machine instead. Next, take your skirt pieces and with right sides together, stitch the pockets to the sides, matching the notches together. Once sewn, press the pockets open. Take the skirt front and with right sides together, place the bodice front on top, matching the dart seams together and pin in place. Do the same for the skirt back and bodice back pieces, again remembering to match the dart seams together. And stitch in place. Once stitched, press the seam flat. Next, take your 2 tie pieces and fold in one of the ends by about 1 centimetre or half an inch. Then do the same for the sides. Fold the tie in half, encasing the raw edges inside, and stitch the fold closed by top stitching along the entire tie. One end will still have a raw edge, which we'll deal with shortly. And this is what your wrap dress should currently be looking like. Place the 2 ties onto the front pieces at the centre seam. It ultimately doesn't matter which tie goes where, but I always place the shortest tie on the left hand side. Baste the ties in place. Then take your back piece and with right sides together, place the front pieces on top, matching the notches together at the shoulders. Stitch in place. Now, hem the entire front opening edge of the dress, including the neck edge, by folding in about 1 centimetre or half an inch twice and tucking in the raw edge of the ties as you fold. And now it's time to attach the sleeves. To help ease the sleeves in place, stitch a row of gathering stitches along the top edge of the sleeve in between the notches. Then gently pull the threads to gather the sleeve slightly. With right sides together, pin the top edge of the sleeve to the shoulder edge of the dress, using a lot of pins to get it to sit properly in that awkward shape. Then stitch in place. With right sides together, fold the front pieces onto the back piece and match the seams together. Then pin and stitch along the entire side edge, including the underarm and pocket edges like this. Place the needle into the fabric and turn to stitch around the sharp edges of the pocket. Then hem the sleeve by folding in about 1 centimetre or half an inch twice. And stitch in place. Then do the same for the entire bottom edge of the dress. Now it's time to make the opening to be able to wrap this dress together. Again, using a water erasable pen or some tailor's chalk, mark the width of your tie at the centre side seam of your dress. Make sure you're marking this at the opposite side to your longest tie. The markings should look a little bit like a buttonhole, like this. So now let me show you how I like to make my buttonholes. Set your machine to a zigzag stitch and change your stitch length to 0.4 and your stitch width to 2.5. Stitch along the 2 lengths of your buttonhole marking. Then change your stitch length to 0.2 and your stitch width to 6. And sew a few stitches along the top and bottom of your buttonhole to finish it. Tie the back threads together into a double knot. And then snip away all the loose threads. Using a seam ripper, open your buttonhole by cutting the fabric inside, being careful not to cut any of your stitching. And you should now have a little side opening that looks like this. And your short sleeve wrap dress is complete. Now let's make the long sleeve short skirt version. Cut along the dotted line of the skirt template to shorten it, and then cut all your pieces out. Repeat the same steps as for the previous dress until you get to hemming the sleeves. Like before, hem the sleeve by folding in about 1 centimetre or half an inch twice. Then stitch in place, but this time leave a small opening like this. Take a measuring tape and measure your wrist so that it feels comfortable and not too tight, and add about 2 centimetres or an inch to this measurement. Cut 2 pieces of elastic at this measurement. Then, using a safety pin, thread the elastic through the opening and into the casing we just created. Once thread all the way, stitch the 2 ends of elastic together by going back and forth with a zigzag stitch. Pull the remaining elastic into the casing, and then stitch the casing closed. And your long-sleeved wrap dress is complete. To wear your wrap dress, simply take the long tie and thread it through the side opening, bring it around the back of the dress, and tie the 2 ties together into a bow at the front. I hope you enjoyed this step-by-step tutorial on how to make the Willow dress. If you have purchased a copy of this pattern, whether it be physical or digital form, thank you so much. Your support means the absolute world. If you've made a Willow dress of your own, then I would love to see it. So be sure to tag me at Rosery Apparel when you share your pictures on Instagram and use the hashtag Rosery Apparel so I can see. The Willow pattern is the 3rd pattern that I have brought out as a part of the Rosery Apparel sewing pattern collection. So be sure to check out my online store if you'd like to see some of the other patterns I have available. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see more videos like this one. Have a lovely day and thanks for watching!